What up, guys? Actually, hold up. A little too dark. Give me a sec. There we go. Take you guys with me. This took 12 hours. I pretty much did this by myself. But I don't mind too much because it turned out to be pretty sick. But besides that, my ass has been kind of lazy on flips. So flip check, you know? Alright, good enough. Actually, never mind. I gotta pull out the front flip and the side flip too. You know what I mean. And that's what we practice, boys and girls. A little low, but I'll take it. Hey. Okay, pause. Alright, so I can actually explain this, you see, there's a very simple explanation. This isn't, I actually, wait, is the recording still going? Bro, I thought I told you to pause. Excuse me, had some issues with the editor, but here we go, we can resume now. Basically, my pesky neighbor remodeled his Chihuahua's doghouse to look exactly like my room, so I walk into it all the time. It just happens, you know. But I got it right this time, and this is my actual room. Hey, Echo, turn on lights in the dungeon.
Okay.
Let's get started. Oh, also, second thing, I really need one of those ring lights because I feel like this lighting is definitely not optimal. So.
A few inches later.
You start feeling real danger. This world ain't simple.
One eternity later.
Yes, you don't understand, baby. Feeling real danger. This world ain't simple, but I'm strong. I know how to get out. And I'll find my way, cause it's love, real simple, and that's how it works. Oh, you start feeling.
Thanks, awkward transition. Anyways, let's talk about why this video exists, yeah? So I was in a kind of a productivity I don't know how to pronounce it. One of those things. And I basically just wanted to have a more productive day. So I've decided that for a week straight, I'm just going to do everything that I believe I should do. What I mean by that is I would simply evaluate the pros versus the cons of something, and if I decide that it's beneficial, I would do it. If not, vice versa. To kind of dig deeper into that, each person has something that they should be doing, whether that's eating more healthy or drinking more water or stretching, doing dynamic stretching before exercising to, you know, limit injury. Thus, this very first week wasn't very structured. It was literally just kind of like a on-the-fly thing. But as it progressed, it started to evolve and things started to become a bit more concrete and structured, and I basically started to form routines. But I'll get more into that in a second. Let me just show you some clips from day one so you don't get too bored of looking at this. All right. One sec, let me get you on that tripod really quick. That's better. I think I might actually go out for a run to a local hike, then do the hike, run back. Decided it's actually probably a good idea to get some strength training in. A little bit of ab work, especially since I'm supposed to be doing ab work every single day. So, let's see how that goes.
So won't you just give it up 'cause you don't understand. Make it up but you don't understand. And it's really nice but you don't understand. So big it out 'cause you don't understand. Hey, 'cause you don't
Decided to go till fail. Lost track of my count multiple times. But good start to my day. What's going on?
I feel it falling down. I know how that day. I feel it falling down. I know how that day. You pretty well, I feel real passionate. You pretty well, I feel real passionate. You feel the circumstance.
I'm wearing a weird contraption. My back's been hurting. I don't want to wear this to keep it straight, you know? We're almost there. This is the top peak right here. So a little fun fact about this peak is you can actually see my house from here. And this right here is a landing strip for paragliders. And during the summer, they'll fill up the entire like sky area above the house. And it's really cool. You could see them doing like crazy stuff and trying to find places to land. Hey, what's up?
Real danger. This world ain't simple, but I'm strong. I know how to get out. And I'll find my way, cause it's love, real simple, and that's how it works. Oh, real danger.
Alright, that's day one. I actually have way more footage, but I realized that the video is going to be way too long and I'm going to have to cut some of it out. So instead, before I proceed to discuss how things went outside that first week, let me just show you a clip from day 5 so things make a little bit more sense about how I organized it and which way it progressed. So, see you in a second. Alright fam, I'm not doing so hot. It's past 12. I've still yet to meditate, stretch, or do abs. And I'm pretty sure once I do those, I'm gonna have so much energy that I'm not gonna want to fall asleep. Tomorrow's gonna be so rough. I also gotta open this, something I could use to keep track of everything I've done for the day and just kind of motivate myself more. Take a guess what it is. It's a whiteboard. So after I got my whiteboard and started utilizing it, this is sort of how it started to look at first. I'll go over these really quickly because I'll get into them in more detail later, but you can pause if you want to see the way my goals progressed. And by the end of day 7, it actually looked like this. After day 7, it changed even more and I added even more things. Even though everything I was doing wasn't really structured or in a routine format, the fact that I felt like I needed to learn something, I basically learned 3 new things on the board and I started doing that. And that helped me a lot with getting even more busy and putting even more things on the whiteboard that I needed to do. This is what I've actually been doing as a routine for about 2 months, if you give or take the fact that I had some injuries and I was sick and I went on vacation. Pause. Here's a sneak peek of that vacation. Coming soon, TM. Okay, unpause. Anyways, Cancun video coming out soon. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff in it. I finally got to fly my drone that I got for my birthday. I'm still new to it, so the footage isn't gonna be like super amazing, but I hope it's still gonna enhance the video. But before I even release that video, I'm gonna do something else, and I'm actually gonna split this video into 2 because this is kind of getting long, and I already have a ton of footage that I filmed and edited that I kind of want to include, but it's just not gonna work out. So instead, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the results of what I learned from the first week to like a month. And in the second video, I'm just gonna jump into the actual routines in more detail, talk about what I learned from doing them, kind of best practices for you guys, and show you the results and progression from where I started and where I ended up because of doing these routines. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, but let's talk about stuff that I learned. So there was 5 important things I learned, and you can actually get access to them for only 4 non-refundable payments of $49.90. Willpower. Willpower is a muscle. This is something that my friend actually used to say to me all the time. Shout out Tyrell. And after this project, it really started to make sense. The more you do difficult things, the better you get at doing them. The more items I put on my whiteboard, marginally, they became easier to do. And I truly believe that this is why people like Marines and like monks exist, because they invest a lot of their time into building up their willpower and becoming more disciplined, meaning it's just a learned behavior, especially instead of doing instant gratification activities to release some dopamine in your brain, if you know what I mean. You can actually remove decision making and the need for willpower from achieving your goals. And you do this by forming habits and routines. This enables you to sort of go into autopilot mode. That sounds kind of bad, but what I mean is like when you wake up, you go and you brush your teeth. It's really easy, really simple. There is no internal struggle. There's no use for excuses. You just kind of do it because it's built into your habit, into your routine in a chronological order, which is important. You can implement this to achieve your goals in any aspect of your life as long as their timing makes sense and you stay consistent with them. Item number 3, organize. I love my whiteboard because of it's a really great visual cue. I could check things off and it's amazing, but you can organize your goals however you want. You could use a journal, you could use OneNote on your PC, anything at all. The one thing I will say though is make sure to make SMART goals, which I have nothing in common with. Which if you don't know, I'll leave the acronym on screen and I'll link a video talking about it in more detail in the description, but this is an amazing way to set and achieve goals and it can change your life if you don't already know what it is. Number 4, this one might be a little bit more personal, but I notice if I don't do everything on my list, I will struggle throughout the day and I will find more excuses to skip on more things and nothing will get done. To be honest, I haven't implemented anything to combat this, but I think a good way to do it is to implement either a reward system or a punishment system depending on what kind of person you are. What I mean by that is you just grab your hand and you... But what I do mean is you need to do something that punishes you but is in line with your goals. Like say you're trying to lose weight, you're gonna add an extra mile that you're gonna have to run that week. And for rewards, maybe you have a really good week and you're just gonna take the last day completely off. Anything that works, works. The last one, number 5, sleep is king. Sleep is essential and you should prioritize it over everything else. You need to go through 3 to 5 REM cycles, which means you can get less than 7 hours of sleep. This is completely true, and again, if you want to find out more, but basically, you can't ruin your sleep schedule because you're just going to feel lethargic and groggy and you're going to fail. And even if you don't fail, it's going to accumulate and the next day will be even harder until you do fail. My best way of dealing with this is something that I completely swear by. I've been using it every day for about 4 months since I found out about it, and it's an app called Sleep Cycle. This is a completely free app. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by it. I have like 6 subscribers and 5 of those are my other accounts and the other is my mom. So seriously, I'm struggling. Subscribe, please. How this app works is basically you set a time, it takes a 30-minute interval before that time, and it wakes you up when you're in the least deep of a sleep, when you're the nearest to waking up. And I always wake up, feel significantly better, like roaring to go with my day, trying to beat it up. But honestly, I've even had days where I had like 4 to 5 hours of sleep and I had to wake up before 8 a.m. I didn't struggle waking up at all and I was still being productive. It's great. It's amazing. You have to try it. But if you don't do it, then at least promise me this. It's 2020. Please stop pressing the snooze button. It doesn't do anything. Pick the latest time to wake up to maximize your sleep, but still be on time. I'm watching. I know where you work. I'll email your boss. You'll be fired. Probably. And then they're gonna hire me because I'm not making anything from this gig. I need a job. But I don't know which camera to look at. In summary, no, that one. In summary, you gotta do hard things to strengthen your willpower, but also avoid using it when you could just use that autopilot cheat code. Use SMART goals and organize, like for example, so you don't forget to include that part in the video. And keep the all or nothing concept in your mind in case you're also that type of person, and combat it with a punishment or reward system. And always, sleep is king. See you later. Dude, leave. Seriously, what the